Clemens' age and the time off they had, especially with Clemens being in court a lot for his problems with Congress, lying before Congress because of what he made a big deal about the steroids that he allegedly used, and so on and so forth. We have a question. Guys, text me on my phone, 650-315-6543. Questions, anybody? Please give me questions on my phone. If you don't want to do that, just go to the comment box, put in your name, and then the question. The question from Chris Silvestri. His question is, are the A's even good? They don't even have many stars. That's a good question. Let's say, okay. Hopefully, a lot of you guys have seen Moneyball, which is about the A's and their salary cap. The first part of the movie was probably the best part of the movie, in my opinion. It's when the A's played the Yankees in the 2001, I think it's the ALCS, and it says the A's versus the Yankees, and they give the salary cap. The Yankees is over 100 million. The A's is over 20 million. It's ridiculous, and it's pretty much a story about Billy Beane and how he's putting in a playoff team out of $27 million and having guys sign one-year deals for $500,000. Cheap old guys that really fit into what they expect to really need to replace guys like Jason Giambi, Jason Isringhausen, and Johnny Damon. Those were the franchise players in 2001. Then they all left because of free agency. Johnny Damon, he went to the Red Sox. Isringhausen went to St. Louis. Giambi went to New York. So it was a mess for the A's. And then they got to the playoffs. And this is a great quote by Billy Beane. Billy Beane was played by the likes of Brad Pitt. He says he's putting his hand up to the top over his head. You got the Yankees. Then he put his hands aligned to his eyes. You got all the other teams. Then you got to his stomach. 50 feet of crap. And then you got to his knees. And then you have the Athletics. And it's kind of true. The A's are not really respected. They're a high market team because they have the Raiders, they have the Warriors there too, and they have the A's obviously. But they're not because they get disrespected so much, and they're not. The A's, they're a good team, and I'm going to answer the question. They're good, and they got stars. They got Josh Rugged. He's a very good player. They got Yoenis Cespedes. He's a very good player, and I think he's going to continue to do very well for this team and for the A's, and getting Brett Anderson back, especially in this part of the season for the A's, is very big. Also losing Bartolo Colon with this 50-game suspension, it's going up and down for the A's right now. Right now, they are 5.5 back in the AL West, so that could be a good thing. That could be a bad thing. So you don't really know what to expect right now. The A's, 5.5, like I told you, behind the Rangers, and they are tied for first with the Baltimore Orioles in the AL wildcard. So that means if the season ended today, the A's would be playing the Orioles in the one-game playoff. I think I don't know where that will be, and there we go from there. That was the question. Thank you very much, Chris, and we'll be now going to our last commercial break. Please tune back to Steven's All Out Baseball Show. We'll be wrapping up just about a 3-minute segment to end the show. Guys, please tune in. This is Steven's All Out Baseball Show here on Spreaker.com.
È strano se sfiorandomi riemergerai dal buio, riposa un po'.
Here we go. Let's go, everybody. My name is Steven Hughes, back with you on Steven's All Out Baseball Show here on Spreaker.com. We are getting towards the final segment of our show. And I'll be now talking about the regular season standings right now across baseball, also in each division and also in the wild card. I'll see if we have any more questions that people are asking. See what my opinion is. Let's start in the AL East, where the Yankees are 20 games above 500, and they are in first place in the AL East. Behind them is the Baltimore Orioles. They are 3.5 back from the Yankees, and they're tied for first, like I told you, in the wild card with the A's. And then you got the Rays, who have lost 3 in a row, so that's unfortunate. Well, the reason why they've lost 3 in a row is because they were playing the Rangers. So some bad things over there in Tampa. Then to round out the AL East, it goes to Boston Red Sox. They're 5 games below 500, 12.5 behind the Yankees. And then you got the Blue Jays. We just got back Jose Bautista. That's a good thing, but it's too late in the season for Toronto to make a push into the playoffs. 13 games below 500 and 16.5 behind the Yankees. In the AL Central, you have the Chicago White Sox. They are 71 and 56, 15 games above 500, and they are 2 games ahead of the Detroit Tigers, who are 1 game behind in the wild card and only 2 games behind in the AL Central. And then after that, it just goes downhill with the other teams, the 3 other teams. Kansas City, part of me, is actually the 3rd place, but they're 15 games below 500, and they're 15 games behind the White Sox. And then the Indians, they are 16.5 behind the White Sox, 1.5 behind the 3rd place Royals. And then the Twins round out the AL Central, where they are 52 and 76, 19.5 behind in the AL Central. And then the AL West, the Texas Rangers, they are 14 games above 500. They are 8-2 in the last 10. They're in first place in the AL West. And then it goes Oakland. Then the Angels, 4 games above 500, 10 games behind in the AL West. So an unfortunate season for the Angels, especially with the uprising of the rookie phenom Mike Trout. Pujols coming in, C.J. Wilson coming in, and much, much more. Then the Mariners! Yes, the Mariners. They're only 5 below 500. I can see them as a 500 team to end the year. They're 14.5 behind the Texas Rangers. They're 7-3 in the last 10. I don't care. I predict the Mariners are going to be. They're going to be over 500. I'm guaranteeing. I want them to be over 500. They have a nice team. They have Felix Hernandez. He's a beast. So quickly, I'm going to answer this question that was sent by Casey Chang, a fellow student and teammate of mine from Aragon. When will the real Tim Lincecum come back? That's a very good question. Tim Lincecum, the starting pitcher for the Giants, he has had a very bad season. I don't think he's going to be coming back, to be honest. If the Giants make the playoffs, he's not going to be in the rotation. It's going to be Madison Bumgarner, Brian Vogelsong, Matt Cain, possibly Barry Zito in the picture. Tim Lincecum is not going to be a starter, unfortunately, because he's not good enough to be even a part of a team that wants to be successful in the playoffs. So I'm sorry, Casey, he's not going to be coming back. I think the Giants will have to rely on Vogelsong, Cain, Bumgarner, and then Zito once again to lead the pitching, and then the bullpen really needs to pick up. Alpha needs to get back where he's been very successful at. Javier Lopez, it looks like he's been the acting closer of late. Santiago Garcia, he's been struggling. Romo, he does what he does best, and we'll go from there. In the NL East, let's go to the National League. The Nationals, the number 1 team in the major leagues, the only team with a 600 I got fly in my eye, damn it. They have a 60 winning percentage. Sorry. They're 77-50. They're 27 games above 500. Unfortunately, they have lost 4 in a row. They're 5-5 in the last 10. Then you got the Braves, who are 4.5 behind the Nationals, and they're looking pretty strong there. Hopefully, they can be a team that looks like, hey, we can make a push to make first place in the NL East. And then after that, it goes to Phillies, the Mets, and the Marlins. The Marlins, they just haven't been doing well all year. Phillies 16.5 behind the Nationals. Mets 18.5. Miami 20. In the NL Central, the Cincinnati Reds, they are 25 games above 500. They did lose last night to the Cardinals 8-2. They are playing Arizona currently right now. There goes St. Louis, who've been on a big surge of late. They have surpassed the Pirates in the standings, and what a great year that St. Louis has been having late into the season. Maybe they make a run to the playoffs once again. So now let's round out the bottom three in the NL Central. Let's go to Milwaukee. They are 8 games below 500. They're 16.5 behind the Reds, so they're probably not going to make a run to the playoffs. Chicago Cubs in 5th, and then the Astros, the dead last team in the major leagues. They are 31 games behind in the wild card. They're 36.5 behind in the NL Central, and they're 48 games below 500. Look at this. They're 40 games below 500 on the road. They're 13-53. That's better than the Bobcats. In the NL West, to round it out, the Giants, who are 14 games above 500, they are up over the Dodgers by 2.5 games. And then goes Arizona, who are at 500, 64-64, 7 games behind in the NL West and in the wild card. Then San Diego, who are 11 games below 500, and then to round it out, the team that puts in a little league rule, the Colorado Rockies, they have a 75-pitch rule over there in the Mile High City. And then in the AL wildcard, like I told you, Baltimore, Oakland, the top teams in the wildcard. And then it goes Tampa Bay, Detroit, Los Angeles. Then the NL wildcard, you have Atlanta, St. Louis. So and then the Pirates now the Pirates. They have gone downhill. They're now 3 games back in the wildcard from being in contention to play in the playoff against the Braves. So the Braves are guaranteed they're going to make the 1-game playoff. But who's going to be the team that plays the Braves? Is it going to be the Cardinals? Is it going to be the Dodgers? Is it going to be the Pirates if they catch up? So we don't know. We just don't know. Guys, this is my 3rd show, and I think this is probably my best show. I want to thank everybody that really called in, asked a question. Casey Chang, Chris Silvestri, Robert Dieters, thank you for the questions. Let's go. Thank you to Jason, who's tuned into his show. Jason's Sports Show is in the archives of all the episodes that we had. He's also the Dodgers beat reporter. Also, thank you to Victor Almashny, who tuned in and who called in and talked to us about the Giants and how he felt about what the Giants have done this year in the NL West. And then myself, thank you everybody for tuning in. My name is Stephen Hughes. I am checking out of Steven's All Out Baseball Show. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night. Go National Sports. And please, my next show will be, I'm not going to have a next Steven's All Out Baseball Show. My next show will be with Robert Dieters, hopefully. It's not official yet, but we are predicted to have another show on Friday. It'll be this Dietz and Stevens All Out Sports Show once again. Dietz and Stevens All Out Sports Show. We don't know if we're going to have it, but we're thinking it's going to be on Friday, and we don't know what time. So please tune into our blog, and we'll go from there. Checking out of Spreaker.com. This is Stephen Hughes here. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night. And to round things out, we'll be finishing with Fastlane by Eminem.